Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic. Colin Cowherd comes over to the dark side. No pun intended. So, look, there's been a lot of media guys that have went out against Lamar. And one of the most notable was Colin Cowherd. Now, when he had went out against Lamar, he was famous for saying he is not a prospect. He is a project. And instead of him saying, look, that's what he is, I don't care what no one says, like you've heard some people say, like, oh, if he wins 12 MVPs, you know what I'm saying, he'll never be a good quarterback. He's taking a different approach of how he's now gauging and looking at Lamar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little snippet, right? If you haven't already seen it already, play a little audio of what he was saying about Lamar, and then we're going to break it down to let you know exactly how I feel about it, all right? So without further ado, let's get this party started, okay? Here we go.
Amazing to me, sitting in this chair, how fans defend clearly average quarterbacks like Daniel Jones and then pick apart Lamar Jackson.
That's a bar.
It's one thing, again, in college. There's a lot to unwrap. We all miss. GMs miss on that. But I mean, by the end of his rookie year when he started playing, you're like, wow. And now what do we know about him? He's super athletic, works his ass off, wins 75% of his starts, and is a really accurate distributor of the football. Think I'm wrong? Right now he's completing 74% of his throws. And people still won't put their arms around him. I didn't get him out of college. I thought he could whiff. I just didn't. I thought he'd get hurt. But by year 2, he was MVP, historically explosive, winning a lot, more accurate than he was the first year. By year 3, he was completing 64% of his throws, had a passer rating near 100, 33 TDs, I think 9 turnovers that year, picks, fumbles, something like that.
Yes.
Come on, it's over. The
debate's
over by year 3. Hell, by
over.
year 2, he's MVP, the debate's over. It is okay. We've all missed on quarterbacks. But this is year 6 for Lamar Jackson.
6.
He owns the Bengals.
Owns them.
Is the most electric quarterback in the league. He is. Teammates love him, works his tail off, wins 75, 76% of his games. It is a you problem if you don't like the aesthetics, how he plays. Who cares? Quarterback is different than the 70s. Tall, short, skinny, wide, big arm, average arm, moves, doesn't move, all shapes, all sizes. I mean, Josh Allen and Kyler Murray standing next to each other, you know, would be weird. I mean, one guy's here, one guy's there. Who cares? They're both good when they're healthy. Let's stop defending average quarterbacks and stop picking apart good ones. Lamar Jackson's...
That's all I'm going to play it at. But, man, the Bengals is catching it these a couple weeks. I love it. Let me tell you something right now. I respect this. Do you know why? Because it's holding himself to the standard in which he is talking. I like this. And the reason why I'm liking it is not just because of that. It's because it illuminates, you know what I'm saying, where he was wrong, how he was wrong, and how now it's like I told people this before. I said, Lamar will never be fully ingratiated until he wins 2 Super Bowls. He won't. Because at that point, he'll be undeniable. Listen, and he even says in this, he says, if you're basing and garnering, I cut it short. But he said that if you're garnishing and saying, hey, a quarterback isn't good if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, then there's a lot of quarterbacks that did not win a Super Bowl that were absolutely amazing. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, but he was still amazing. There's a lot of players that were great that never won a Super Bowl. And there's a lot of subpar players that won Super Bowls that you're not going to say, oh, they were great. So it's just using that as the barometer is foolish. And that's where a lot of stuff come in. Like, oh, can he win a Super Bowl with him? What are you talking about? The man wins over 75% of his games. Over 75% of his games. Well, what did he do in the playoffs? The playoffs for him have been marred by injury, bad weather. Like, that's what it's been marred by with him. And horrible surrounding talent. teams say, look, we're taking Lamar away, beat us some other way. And the team's like, we can't really do that. We're not really built that way. And everyone that's saying anything different and saying, oh, that's not true. Once again, I like facts. If you even go back to the Titans game, everyone's like, oh, his O-line is so great that season. Guess what? He was pressured more than Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. If you do not believe me, go to your most favorite analytical site and go look it up if you don't believe me. That means PFF and whatever else you want to use, right? He was pressured more than Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. The only reason why I guess he wasn't sacked as much is because he's more mobile. That's crazy, right? And on top of it, his best target was hurt after what? 5 minutes into the game, Mark Andrews. In comes Hayden Hurst. And people still say, yo, it's your fault. Figure out a way. Who cares if they're not blocking? Who cares if you don't have no one to throw to? Who cares if the coach doesn't even call a good game? It was sickening. This man called like 3 runs the whole game. Even when they were up, he called like 3 runs the entire game. And to make it worse, the reason why even with that, I don't even put all the onus on Greg Roman in that game plan is because dude was just dropping the ball. He had like 8 drops that game. 8! 3 of them for touchdowns. Jesus God. Bro, so this is what I try to tell people, right? You hate him, right? Because you don't have him. You hate him because he perpetuates everything that a lot of people said a quarterback couldn't be. I'm not going to go into it, but y'all know where I'm going when I say this. You know what I mean? He comes in authentic. He's not a boardroom guy. You know what I mean? And you guys know what I'm saying with that. With these other guys, they come in, hello, my name is Angelo. Yes, quarterback is what I play. Quarterback is what I think. Quarterback is what I am. That's how they expect him to be. But he's genuine. He stays how he is. Like, you know what I'm saying? He comes from the South. He comes from Miami. He has some Southern twang to his vocals and stuff like that. He laughs, but he's always respectful. You know, he has the braids. And it really turns a lot of people off. His intelligence is one of the biggest things that they questioned. And here he is. Here he is. And like I told y'all before, Bengal fans, oh, no, he don't. He owns you guys. The only time y'all beat the Ravens when he's not playing. I try to tell y'all. And y'all lucky John Harbaugh is one of those coaches that when you're up 10, he pulls back and just tries to run out the game. If he was actually like Bill Belichick, he would blow you out every time Lamar is playing. Even last week, we should have been up 17 points. They just ran with Gus. We get the first down, ran with Gus again. Lamar run, Gus run. All right, we punched it off to them. We took a lot of time off the clock. When we were hot, we were moving the ball. Truth hurts. I know it does. But undeniably, Lamar Jackson is top 2 quarterback in the league. It's him and Patrick. And the only reason why Patrick is over him is because of the accolades that he was able to achieve. That is it. If I'm dead serious, you got to respect accolades because that's the deciding factor with a lot of things. That's how you differentiate the greatest of the great. And I consider Lamar Jackson greatest of the great. He already got the MVP, and he's on pace to maybe win one again this season. Now, if they go on and win the Super Bowl, hey, Lord have mercy. I will be uncontrollable, undeniable. I will be the person that you want to block on Twitter because a lot of receipts. See, I like this with Colin because what he did was he said, look, if they win, I already said what he is. I ain't going to throw these receipts in my face. People are starting to understand and respect what he brings to the game. And honestly, they're late to the party. But still, welcome. Go get yourself a drink. And that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. And how we get down, we have fun and we laugh, but everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know I love the comments. If you have not done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of absolute content goodness ready for your consumption. And if you want to donate to the channel, just to donate and help with equipment and stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is $, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nitro, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.